that little detail you want for. It's allergy. It's allergy. Honorable Biko, take your. This is your chance now. Let us make progress. By your own understanding, as a leader in the past and everything, when we say Mema Ndoki, how does it sound to you, and what do you understand it to mean, sir?
Okay, and then we're more on the salachi and Monday, and they may anchor Monday, kiri.
Yes, sir.
I say or Oma.
Mama.
Because they don't do. And I would also fail to appreciate the Ndoki Union Youth Wing.
Okay, sir.
Because this innovation is awesome, and it can only take youth that are not just vibrant, but they were very, very intelligent, to have done this in a very shortest possible time. I had the privilege to be one of you, and also director programs, the bigger body Ndoki Union.
Yes, sir.
And privilegedly too, the pioneer chairman Ndoki Union Summit.
Yes.
What we are seeing today is actually what was anticipated. At this time, a body which was not there before now. Over decades, I know when organization called Ndoki Union of those days, and my prayers would have not in as much as now they be perfected, but perfection always progress come,
Yes,
so
sir.
it's work in progress. So I believe that someday even after us now Ndoki Union will really stand for Ndoki people.
Amen.
So however, inviting me, for this program.
Yes, sir.
We understand Mema Ndoki. Mema Ndoki all know in the development.
Yes, sir.
And it takes a human being to do that. Of course, I will ask Oro. I will ask Oro as it affects Ndoki as a people. That now we are lacking a lot of things here. We are lacking
Yes,
a lot of things. So,
yes,
in terms of the basic amenities,
yes, sir.
when you say a place is developed, there are indices, one can look at to say that the place is developed. So now, if you bring it down to Ndoki Nanka, if I check, I compare, and now find out whether the place is developed or ODB. And the creators, of course, we are still lagging behind. So Nyamema will make sure that now those amenities now they in place. Or here when I remember now. And if I may also say, what are those amenities? Now functional health facility. This electricity, particularly as it affects Abia, nowadays, because Chineke Marakuno Jibekwa, na River State, by virtue of hosting the power plant there. So where when you steady power supply, but that doesn't end there. Development now, even when we have that power, we also need to, we need another willingness willingness, to also attract things, just like our brother who spoke earlier said, attract things, not really bringing in whatever we have in terms of financial resources to develop that place by, bringing in factories, even if not mega factories, but also micro industries that can be able to employ 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, even to 20 to 30 persons. So these are the things. So it's not only just having the light, but what do you also use the light for? Is very, very important. So I also know when you can, of course, you cannot also take away that higher road. You can also take away roads. Road now, all encompassing. The entire Ndoki, the route where most of us are using now, if you must go to Port Harcourt, you go through Ogoni, which is not really, spending more money in terms of getting fuel, spending more time, in the situation where you're supposed to get to Port Harcourt in less than 45 minutes. But before all those routes, the tears and wears, so it's affecting everybody. Inclusive. Helipad. So that means all of us are using that road. So those roads. So if we're able to fix these things by any means, particularly through government interventions, then I remember Ndoki. So it's not only looking at our whole just is not left for politicians alone. It's a business that concerns everybody. A day in the interest of Ndoki Nobua. So when we are able to do this, then I remember Alian.
Mama. Now, specifically, sir, how do you intend, specifically, I'm not generalizing in this ground now, how do you, Honorable Lewis, intend to use your office, if elected, to affect Ndoki? How do you, I didn't say in general terms, you as a person.
To do what?
To use your office and effect the needed change in Ndoki, you as a person.
Okay. Okay. It might change. The change is a process.
Yes, sir.
And for me, by the special grace of God, if elected, considering my experience in office, both as a legislator and also both in the legislative arm and also in the executive, I find that now I've been tested. I've also been I have God fearing, and I also intend to do the needful, such as as a business, as a legislator. My business is to liaise. My business is to consult. My business is to lobby. Lobby. And first and foremost, I am not going to work as an individual. I'm going to work as a people. I'm going to work as a people. And how do I mean by working as a people? Working as a people is bringing in voices, bringing in the interest of all our interests together, going there to speak for our people in terms of getting that basic dividends of democracy in the Ukwa-East State Constituency. Ukwa-East State Constituency, to go there to represent them effectively, to represent them, as a public, as an oriented person, somebody they oriented, and what I would do will now increase my manifesto. I have brought out my manifesto. Is e-copy. It has been going out there. So if you look at it, all the things, and there are
Yes,
about either 13 of them or thereabout. That is my solo part, you know.
okay,
This is some one would that now I will speak for myself. I will speak for the people, and if I want to speak for the people, that means I will have to be consulting them per time. You know, it's going to be a participatory kind of representation. So that because when I'm talking for myself, I won't be that bold enough to do that. But if I'm talking for the people, that means you have spoken for your people. So when you have spoken for your people, of course, now of course, no man is a citadel of wisdom. And we could not hear the so if I must achieve it, I will have to carry every of us along in it. And if you also, if that document, this, I will also, I think you also have it. Those are the things I'm going to do. One, sir. I will have to liaise with people. Two, I'm going to put up both infrastructural, basic infrastructural facilities, recreation centers, health centers, and also educational grants, which is about 4 million every year. So these are the little things I think I can do, which is also we can still develop on it, you know, as time goes.
Okay, the mama, you are we are going to look at the past. You, yes. Honorable Lewis,
yes,
had the opportunity of serving us as a councillor, if I'm not making a blunder here.
Leader of the council.
Leader of the council, he was there. Then you moved on to become the chairman of the council yourself. Now, can you, on this gathering, point out to us few things you was able to bring? Because what have you done in the past that is people oriented, you initiated, that will now make us give us, that will compel us to give you our vote, knowing that you're going to do the same, replicate such thing and do more for us? What have you done in the past, sir?
Okay, thank you very much. This is, yeah. When people talk about accountability, this is the accountability section that we are in.
Yes, sir.
You know, in the past, and
yes, sir.
That is exactly what we are. And
yes,
what we have done is that if you look at what we are posting to this, what we are telling people, and also what we are posting, first and foremost, I started, you know, when I told my people that I want to go represent them in House of Assembly, what I first did was I told them what I did from 2008 when I became the councillor representing
water for me, water.
Representing Ukwa-East East Ward.
Yes, sir.
That was what I, from that point to 2016 when I represented Ukwa-East as a council chairman. As council chairman. I hope we are there.
I'm listening to you, sir. I am all attention.
So that was what I did first before I now stated what I was going to do. And henceforth, that is also what we are doing. Now, in practical terms, let me itemize them. They are enormous anyway. First and foremost, even as a councillor, you know, then in 2008, above every other things that I did by giving exercise book, paying for WAEC, getting a mobile cassava grinding machine for women in my ward, you know, about 2 of them as a then for women organization, that is and aside that, what I cherished most was that during the days of Sir Fakosin Okoro, you know, he gave us, he gave our ward, you know, a drum of cable, that is conductor, electricity, bear conductor, electricity, then with a transformer. And that was in whether 2003 or 2002, thereabouts. I can't really know. But since then, when I came on board in 2008, that thing has been lying fallow. I looked at it one day. It was in my uncle's house. I came in one day to come and let him know what I was already doing in office. And I saw that. I said, do you know that as a councillor, I sponsored connection. I sponsored connection of that electricity as a councillor.
Okay.
Electricity. In fact, both the labor and getting the other materials such as insulators, crossbars, stay cable, and as many of them as you can count. I provided them with the resources, not the council resources, the resources, the part of the emoluments I got as a councillor, my monthly emoluments I got as a councillor. Then while I was also there, I was able to, at a point, we got both the base where we are going to mount the transformer. But the challenge will now, the constraint anyway, at a point was that now which was getting a bulk of about 1.4 million naira to pay to the then NEPA. Enugu then is now NEPA or something. So the money we needed to pay for them to give us approval to install that transformer. So it was at that point that I lobbied the then executive chairman, Barrister Glory Kano, who also magnanimously, gave paid for that bill. Then the the transformer was installed, and we got light. I still raise my shoulder today that even as a councillor, I was able to attract that for my people. That is one of the basic things I did as a councillor. Now coming to a transition committee chairman. Before I came on board, there was no light in 2000 that was in 2011 on the 28th of December 2011. There was no light. The whole of Ukwa-East. What I did, I came on board and I found out that it was just an administrative bottleneck that would need to be unbundled. So that was what we now did. So I now invited the then network manager of then EEDC. So I invite Oba Kotochan, because of the distance where we are getting this light. Not even from Aloji then. Now on a move from Aloji, getting to Imo Gate. In the Imo Gate, Imo Gate now. That is Imo Gate now. Imo Gate, yes, so Imo Gate, Ghana, Bonano. Where before mini Imo River, that place in that minute, if you are when it away.
Imo Gate, you're right. Imo Gate.
Okay, yes. That community there, that as a community then Ankara.
Ozaku.
Yes, that Kuku and the boots of Ponkara. But I had a lot back to Obe before getting to Ukwa-East. Now, this distance, as it goes this distance, before Pola and Yekuku on a drop. That is why any little thing going forth. So, but what we needed to do was not to get maintenance. These people getting these NEPA people to get to work. So we started giving them monthly subvention. When we eventually installed the lights, we started giving them monthly subvention. So it was that monthly subvention we were giving them, that gingered them that every little thing they come down to our Aziz Ndoki, that is of Ukwa-East extraction, to come and fix those things. So within the period I was in office, there was light. Up until 2012 December, when my tenure as a transition committee chairman elapsed, I left office. On the 13th of April 2013, these people, they were there. So outside that, I was also able, as a transition committee chairman, to attracted 2 primary schools. In fact, one the good thing that now the Obonas, I built this classroom block na Obos. Nobos. It's still standing there today. Nobos Primary School. I built another one. I reconstructed another one na Morobe, precisely. Primary School in Morobe, precisely. Then I also bought health equipment for a health center. One in Akwete, one in Ime Council, one in this is Morobe again. And which other Ohanso, either Ohanso or Obun, when we one health center and one Nankara then. We were also able to get equipment and fit in there. And this is before I get such a more so or maternity kind of bit. We got also, that was also part of the things we got. So and was able to renovate the local government. We renovated the local government and equipped it. In fact, Onyeme Ojewuru green local government, green headquarters today. Before now, it was white. It was a white building, if you will remember. But today now, the greenish, both the roof and both the paint there, the greenish. All what we did when I was a council. Now, it didn't also stop there. In 2016, when I was elected as a chairman of the council, because of the wealth of experience I have got, when these funds comes, and then with the subsidiaries of the local government, the education authority is there, the pension, local government pension body there, the local government audit board is also there, the local government service commission is also there, and so forth. Okay, now I am with the health, this is the area. So in a very nutshell, this I want those money. Whatever that is left is what you manage. Is what you manage. So now in all these things, the light again, I also made an appeal. When the local government, sorry, I don't put them on any days when what they set up to restore light to committee. So the only thing I did, because of the timing, the only thing I did was to power that particular committee. And that particular committee, through the help of the governor, we were able to restore light. And,
Honorable.
Thank you, Kingsley, please. Kingsley.
To take a longer time. Now, we still have someone waiting, but subsequently, we'll get back to this discussion because it's going to be a continuous thing, so that we'll have time to say all these things, sir. Now, we have our, on your part, sir, before you just leave us, before Adiko will come in, was there any kind of group or any kind of people in Ndoki who held you, who did not allow you to function freely? Was there any kind of group like that that did not allow you to function freely?
Any such thing. Thing. I had them very, very independent, you know.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And let me also tell us.
Mama. Hello, sir. Are you there with us? Hello? Hello? Honorable.
The very good leaders are even here. You know, okay. Nothing like they don't gag you. They don't gag you.
All right.
Or whatever. You are accountable to the people. And I take this opportunity to challenge anybody that said that maybe there was no light from 2017 November, from 2017 December to January 2019. Come out facts and challenge the people. Stop doing the propaganda in way. And that is not the way to go.